Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where I've just been looking at what our options are here, and we need to stop being co-emperor, which is wild. I think the best thing for us to do is to move upwards and become proper emperor. So of course what that means is that we need to deal with this guy. We are ourselves promoted up somewhat, but we can expand our power base. This is something that we can do right now, and I'm going to do that. So this is absolutely fine. We'll bring in you, and who else do we have here? We could maybe throw some money at somebody if we wanted to. You would join, bringing us up to 76, which is good enough. We don't actually need any additional odds for getting this done to max out, so that seems fine. As far as all of these go, anyway. Sure, you'll do. We probably should have gone for focusing on the scheme speed then. So at this point, we've got 116 days. We'd like to bring somebody like this in. We could offer him prestige. Oh, he's in. Beautiful. So 66 days. That seems fine. Now, we got to do something about this guy. He's a problem. Because we are not currently top here, right? So we can't boost up our candidate score anymore. That's why we're expanding the power base. We can bribe people to back us. So there is that. We can also slander him, and that's a political scheme, correct? Yes, that's a political scheme. So that's fine. I do want to work on killing our liege. That is definitely something that I want to do. So we'll go with a balanced agent arrangement. That seems fine. As far as an alibi goes, you could be convinced a hefty bribe wouldn't do it, prestige wouldn't do it. A bribe plus a little bit of influence would do it. Okay, so that's a decent alibi, but that still only brings us up to 18. Yikes. We're gonna have to be fast on this. And these are not going to be the fastest of phases. Most people are refusing at this point. So this is the best that we could do. Oh my, that's going to be very expensive. I'm actually going to abandon this. I don't think we're going to go for that. I think instead we can go for a depose scheme. That's more likely. We would gain 96 stress from that. Why was that? 80 stress. Oh, because we're loyal. Okay, sure. That's fine. I'm not concerned about that. That's okay for the moment. So I want to continue to work on expanding our power base, and I want to deal with this guy. He's a problem. So to that end, we can go over to... There's no way that this guy would back us, would he? No, there's no way. So we can go over to Capua, which is held by our house, and we can request appointment support of ourselves to the Byzantine Empire. Would not accept. Fickle. Okay, we can't do too much about that then. Interesting. Well, we know that we had somebody out over here. Azerbaijan? Yeah, that's correct. So let's see if this guy would be willing to support us. What's his opinion? No. Okay. Well, that's fine for the moment. We'll find somebody eventually. The main problem right now is that we failed this. That was a huge problem for us. We can't subsume governorship while we're the co-emperor, which I think is wild. The co-emperor is functionally just a regent. So I took a look at some of this stuff, and it's not great. I wish we could step down as co-emperor, honestly. I don't know of a way to do that. If we can, that would be great. But I don't know of a way to do it. So we can't swing the scales until next year. So that's definitely a thing. Our liege might grant us more territory. Ah. We just passed that guy as the head. He must have died. I think he died. So that looks good. It's difficult for people to get as invested as we are. So that's definitely noted. But it's not impossible by any means. So we're currently working on this political scheme. We're going to have that ready to go soon. Okay, so we're gaining 10% per phase. That's noted. So let's work this up as quickly as we can, and we'll execute this scheme soon. Our brother is our new player heir, apparently. I don't really care about that. We're probably not going to have a succession before the end of the game, so that's reasonably fine. But we do need to continue to press forward, right? So we can expand up this way. Thessaly is the main problem at this moment. So if we were to compel his resignation, this guy would receive the majority of the provinces. Interesting. That's very interesting. So that might reset our timing. I don't know if it would, but this is a pretty long cooldown. And we've got a lot of Thessaly to take over, right? So that's an issue. Okay, so somebody passed us for the Byzantine Empire, which we're not surprised about. That was always likely to happen eventually. So 426 investments. Yeah, I mean, we can try to find somebody like, I don't know, maybe this guy would be willing to support us. For a hefty payment, of course. 23 reasons. Okay. So we would need to do something about this then. We'd need to boost that up. Like, we need to boost up people's opinions of us, right? One of the best ways to do that would be to boost our level of influence. So that's definitely something that we can work towards. If we wanted to do that, a feast would probably be the way to go. So we do that here in Damascus, which is currently our capital, which is very awkward for us. Also, our estate is in Jerusalem, and I'm not sure if this is actually active. But yeah, that's a little awkward. So we're going to hold a feast here, and that'll be fine. That'll get us a bunch of influence, with the idea being we're going to move up towards authoritative. So that seems fine. And then the question is, how can we unco-emperor? Well, we can siphon treasury. 74% for a medium sum. Done. Excellent. We successfully embezzled. Perfect. So we're 80% here right now. On the next tick here, we'll be up at 90%, and we may as well execute this. We can't do it yet, but as soon as this tick goes through, we'll be able to. So that looks good. Yeah, honestly, I would like to unco-emperor at this point. Co-emperor is not helpful for us. War against tyranny on Princess Sophie. I want to look into this. We also need to travel to do this, but we're currently busy at our feast. So this war against tyranny here. As of right now, this is not looking particularly auspicious. I'm going to tell her no. Yeah. I think this was the right call. So that's still looking particularly inauspicious, and that looks okay for the moment. So I don't know of a way that we could get this guy to be our vassal other than the liege just granting it, right? So there is that. We should definitely execute this scheme to expand our power base. Wow. Okay. 90% failure on that. We're rolling badly with these. That was unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. So we're not the heir right now. If we were to influence candidacy here, what would we end up getting? This would be for the Byzantine Empire. Would we get anything at all? No. Okay. So that's understood. We're maxed out on that for now. So we can come in here and we can slander this guy. Is he already slandered? Hang on. He is. So there's no point in slandering then. So to that end, he's at 904. We can definitely throw money at the problem by shopping around and finding somebody who's willing to support us for the Byzantine Empire. So let's see what we've got here. 18 reasons not to? Okay, sure. So maybe this guy would be willing to. 109 reasons not to. Okay, nope. That's not going to be a thing. Let's see. Down over here, maybe Sinai. 34 reasons not to. So for the time being, there's a lot of people who are not willing to help us with this. So this is going to be a little bit obnoxious, no doubt about it. We're rolling badly on a lot of things at this moment, but let's see what happens with this feast. We're still 3 months until it begins, so that's understood. I really want to get some of these guys as our vassal. Like, really want to. We have excellent ski mods on Deposition here, but, of course, the primary issue is this. We're not currently in charge. So that's absolutely understood. That's a significant problem for us. Actually, this guy might be willing to support us. No, very much not. Okay. So that's not going to be a thing. What about this guy? Request appointment support for 12 reasons not to, huh? I think we're going to have to wait till after this feast. That will hopefully get us up to authoritative. So that would be useful at any rate. So yeah, we're definitely rolling awkwardly. There's no doubt about that right now. This guy is a huge problem for us right now. Absolutely huge. We do need a new stewardship perk, and let's see, bad reaction to food. I will take some prestige and a weak cook. That seems fine. So we can take golden aplomb. Not that we're going to get anything out of it right now. That seems okay. Let's see. What do we got here? 900 gold? No, we'll bring out our finer wares, and that will generate us some additional influence. So that looks good. We'll do household efforts. This is fine. We are absolutely okay with that. An innuendo, huh? Never mind. Okay, so this is all relatively okay, except that... Hang on. We gained a level of influence. Okay, beautiful. That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted there. So that's incredible. Now, of course, what we need to do is we need to start shopping for some additional people who would be willing to back us. This guy doesn't have 50 influence. Okay, I do want to go up and do these rampant bandits, so we'll head on over. We're definitely going to need to bring medical equipment because of the plague on the way. And then we could bring mercenary guards, and this would be fine. Okay, yeah, this is okay. So no problem there whatsoever. We're going to head up and deal with this governance issue. And we've managed to sway the emperor at this point. So can we petition him? Out of question? Curiosity is the word I'm looking for. Not until July. Okay, so once we get back here, maybe. We'll see. What do we got going on up here? So this is a 64%, 70%. Okay, we'll take the 70% chance. And excellent. We managed to get 90 additional influence. So our level of influence has gone up here. And does that allow us to do more investment? This would be specifically for the Byzantine Empire. We've reached our investment capacity still for that. Okay. So that is very, very sad. We could promote our candidacy, and we probably should do this. Are we currently promoted? We are, and I don't think this is actually going to be useful, but it will be a pretty quick scheme, so we can find out if it's useful. So 51 days, we need someone who's at least like 41. So somebody down over here would be fine. This guy would be pretty decent. We'll offer him prestige, and that looks good. Okay. So anybody who's willing to boost up our odds for free. Yes, this guy is good. What do we got over here? We don't need too much more, to be honest. So I don't want to throw any more resources at this. I don't think this is actually going to help anyway. So let's just get this done quickly. There we go. So this will be a very, very fast scheme. Sounds great. Excellent. So at this point, we're still interested in definitely getting... Well, this guy's actually currently in poor health. He has smallpox. He may or may not recover. That would be useful for us if he didn't. Is he slandered? He is. Okay. So we don't need to do that. But what we do need is we need to convince some people to back us. So there might be some people who would be willing to do that at this point. Let's see, 34 reasons? Because we've raised up our level of influence, so we may have to boost up people's opinions of us first. We will see. That is definitely something that we can do. 9 reasons not to support this. Okay. I'm going to send him a gift. We also gain influence for sending gifts to this guy. That's interesting. So we'll request an appointment support now, and now he's willing to do this, now that he's received this gift. So we'll ask him to support us in the Byzantine Empire's succession. How much is he going to give us? 10? Oh, what a jerk. Okay, we'll see about this lady now. Is she willing to at this point? 0 reasons, because she's fickle. Okay. Well, that's very rude. We can come out to this guy and see if he's willing to yet. 15 reasons not to. Okay. So we can look for some people who are not from our house, of course. Somebody like this guy. Potentially, he's at 21 opinion. It's probably not going to be great. Yeah, minus 60. So I wish that there was a faster way to go through these rather than just going through them one at a time like this. He only has 4 reasons. We could send him a gift. So that'd be 150 gold. And now we can ask him to support us, which he'll do. This is, of course, quite expensive, but there we go. Only plus 10. Not ideal. So we're not up there yet. We need another, like, 13 at this point. If we had succeeded at expanding our power base, it would have been fine. Oh, wait, we can boost this up by an additional... No, this is the province of Euphrates. Hang on. Byzantine Empire. Yeah, we can't boost this up at all. We can deduct from this guy, though. So we can just do that. He is probably going to just go back up. But for now, I guess it'll do. Okay, at this point, we can go ahead and execute this scheme. Again, I don't expect this to really do anything. So, actually, let's give this another tick or two. Okay. A weak favor or gain some piety. We'll take the piety. Thank you very much. Okay, so that brings us up to 89, and yeah, we'll do it now. There's a success. So we're now promoted, but I expect that to be the same as it was before. Yeah, that'll just re-up it. So that's still at plus 30. That's understood. We're not super, super firm on this at this point. But if we go in here and we depose this guy, we may want to focus on decreasing the scheme phase lengths because our odds are excellent. And this is long scheme phase lengths. So, to that end, our proponent here would be someone like this, bringing us up to 90. That looks good. So, 42, we can just bribe her. She'll accept that. I'm surprised she'll accept it 0 reasons, but okay. And then as far as these guys go, we're going to want to bring this down very significantly. So we're going to have to throw some resources at this. That's okay. So for this guy, we could offer a hefty bribe and some prestige. Done. For the next one, this would be probably another hefty bribe and some prestige. Yes. And then for this one, this would be a bribe, prestige, and influence. Done. Okay, so that gets us nice and fast phases. And up to 90% chance. That's not bad. So that looks good. I would like these phases to be slightly faster. They are currently 32 days per phase length. Okay. We're now losing the Byzantine Empire because this guy's a jerk. Keep in mind, we can choose when we want to execute that, right? So, yeah, this guy he's a bit of a problem. No doubt about it. We can do something about it, though. For the moment, I'm not going to. For the moment, we're going to bank up our influence, and we will strike when we know that this is going to happen. So this is going up pretty quickly. We're gaining 4 per phase. Okay. So we need to continue to make preparations on this. I don't suppose we can border dispute this guy yet. No, not for another 2 years. So this is absolutely the way to go. We don't need to sway this guy anymore. We can abandon that phase, or that scheme, rather. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're definitely gaining progress here, and we're gaining progress quickly. We've got 2 months of grace left. There's only 21% secrecy on this scheme. So we need to execute this fairly soon. This guy knows about our blackmail. Or he's trying to blackmail us, rather. He would expose the embezzler secret. Sure, we'll let him have a weak hook. I don't actually care. That's reasonably fine for now. Okay, so we're at 59%. And we've got 1 month of grace period left. We can execute this scheme at any time. We no longer have a grace period on this scheme. So, we're at 64% on this. We, of course, definitely need to get this guy out of here, right? So, that's something we can do. We're at 943 right now. Okay. We're going to have to toss more money at this, I think. So let's take a look at, like, this guy, perhaps. Nope. Minus 14. Okay. That's going to be minus 61. This guy would back us. Excellent. So we'll do that. That's going to be expensive, of course. And he gave us plus 20. So that's pretty decent, but we're still a little behind this guy. Not much, though. Definitely not much. So that's fantastic. So at this point, we definitely are within striking distance here. We would need to... Is he slandered currently? He is slandered. We could undermine his governor efficiency. Would that actually affect his... Is that in here? No. That wouldn't actually affect his succession. So that wouldn't be useful. We could compel his resignation from somewhere. He only has a 22% chance of acceptance, of course. So we don't really want to do that, ideally. We could just influence his candidacy here and do a major deduction. Minus 50. Done for now. Okay. So that's going to be a bit of a fight at this point. Yeah. He's just going to reinvest back up, and that's expected. So there's only so much that he can do there, though. I'm wondering how much of this investment... Okay. Noted. So what we really want to do is we want to get some gold going here. We can steal gold from our fellow vassals as co-emperor. There's a lot of that available. Or we could just not, for the moment. So here's the idea. what I'm going to do is we're just going to wait until this is basically ready to go, right? We need to get up to like 90%. It's going to be pretty close. We've done pretty well on the secrecy on this so far. Well, never mind. The scheme was discovered. Rip. That's very unfortunate. We're still going to work on this over time, but it's going to take some time. That was unfortunate, no doubt about that. But there's very little that we can do right now other than just work on that. This guy's up here now. He's at 526 investments. Oh my. Okay, so we're at 488 investments. That's primarily us, and we need to get other people who are willing to do that, right? For that, we need gold. So that's a little awkward for sure. Our agent was discovered and removed from the scheme. So that was a socialite here. Okay. So we've now had 2 breaches on this. I don't think this is going to happen at this point, to be honest. So that's really, really unfortunate again. We are having terrible luck on this. We can't work on deposing this guy again for 5 years. So for the time being, we're just going to have to bide our time, I think. And we'll have to keep going after Thessaly with boundary disputes, but this cooldown is so long. Once we can come down here and start taking over Palestine, it's going to be a lot better for us, but Thessaly is a huge problem. There's very little we can do about it, too. I really wish it hadn't have just given all of our territory to our father for no reason. That would have been, you know, nice. But alas, that is not the case, so we just have to deal with it. So to that end, we're going to try once again for Tiberius as soon as that cooldown is up, and hopefully we'll be able to take Palestine back and start putting our realm back together, because that will be very good. If we had managed to depose the Emperor, then that would have been great, but alas, that is not where we are. So we'll just have to wait. We'll have to play it patiently. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.